We want to turn now to the ocean and the only living coral barrier reef in the continental U.S. Pollution, climate change, and disease are threatening the future of the underwater habitat off the Florida Keys. In tonight's Eye on America, CBS's Manuel Bojorquez shows us what's being done to try to save it.
Just off the Florida Keys lies the world's third largest coral reef, once a vibrant habitat for millions of plants and animals. But an outbreak of stony coral tissue loss disease threatens to decimate 20 of the 45 species found here, including larger reef-building corals.
This disease that's burning through the Florida Keys is an incredible event that's happening, and it's like a wildfire.
Dr. Andrew Stamper says that endangers Florida's fishing industry and our food supply, too.
Unfortunately, we do not know exactly what is causing this.
In order to save the reef, scientists have moved some species hundreds of miles away to labs like this one in Orlando, a coral Noah's Ark.
This essentially is a gene bank, so we're trying to protect the genetics of these corals so that their offspring can ultimately be returned back to the Florida reef tract.
Jim Kinsler is part of a team of private and public partners operating the Florida Coral Rescue Center.
This is a rescue in a real sense.
It's truly a rescue, and this is truly the first time many of us have been involved in rescuing an entire ecosystem.
Inside the lab, the work to simulate breeding conditions is both delicate and painstaking. LED lights replicate the sun and moon cycles. Volunteers feed the coral in water treated to mimic their real habitat. Just as delicate is the task of relocating the lab-grown coral to sea.
Will this really have an impact out there in the real world?
I think it will.
Andrew Walker is president of the Fish and Wildlife Foundation of Florida.
We think the real challenge is just growing them out to a size that we can test them in those waters, test their disease resistance, and then propagate the successful corals by the hundreds of thousands, literally.
A new generation of coral, they hope, for generations to come. For Eye on America, Manuel Bojorquez, Orlando.